Good evening. Hey, why don't y'all copy me? Good evening. That's funny. You guys sound really great. Thank you for coming tonight. For me, you know, tonight is probably one of the most special family fun nights that we've ever had for the past 16 years. It'll be 16 years. And because of so many things going on in our world and with our children, tonight means a lot to me. Why? Because I've been working with a Better World After School program. I founded a Better World After School program 16 years ago, February 2000, because I really love children. And I just believe that people can say children are our future. Well, I ask another question: what children are you talking about? And when I look at the children that I've been working with for 16 years, you know, a lot of children have made it, but too many have failed. And when you look at the school systems, school boards, and et cetera, and elected officials, and then you got our teachers, and then you've got certain schools in certain neighborhoods, and the schools that we deal with most is called Title I schools. Does anybody know what a Title I school is? Anybody? I know you guys do. Does anybody know what it means by Title I school? That doesn't mean anything bad. Anybody know what a Title I school? The simple way, go ahead. No. Some do, but that's not the reason I'm asking. It means that it's kind of at a disadvantage, not because of anyone's color or anything like that. It's considered to be the schools with low and reduced lunch. The simple way, is that correct? The simplest way to, without putting any other titles on it. And there are 12 in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg school system that don't have PTAs. Now, I'm getting ready to fight harder than anyone. They're gonna think I am just like lost my mind, fighting for Title I schools and getting the proper resources, especially in the ones that God places in my path, so that at least they will have a chance to succeed. And when you don't have parent-teachers association or parent involvement with the teachers and et cetera, then you really can't have a successful communication that's going to work best for the child. Let me say it that way. So tonight we have the principal from Allenbrook School, Catherine Bonacera. Did I say that right? And Xavier, Miss Bailey. I'm going to call her Miss Bailey. Everybody say, hello, Miss Catherine, and hello, Miss Bailey. Let me tell you something. We always complaining about teachers. And when I went to Allenbrook on this particular day, you know, I was going up there ready to complain to these people about how, you know, you guys are making a mess. These kids are coming here, and, you know, we were going up there, and we went up there and got shocked to see how these people work so hard. And they can't save us so much, but they work so hard, but with so few resources. I'm an advocate for teachers. Football players shouldn't make more than teachers. Football players shouldn't make more than police officers. Football players, we have our focus, our attention on the wrong things in this world. And that's why how many know that if you are in the 3rd or 4th grade, and if you miss the 3rd or 4th grade window, the chances of you dropping out of school, the percentages are very high. And for young, especially young African-American males, the chance of going to prison increases. Because the average prisoner, how many know, guess what, the average prisoner reads at a 3rd or 4th grade level because they missed that window. And you're going to find a way to survive. I don't care who you are. I know I would, wouldn't you? Everybody wants to eat. So tonight is very special for me. And I want to just lift teachers up because they're the backbone of our country and our world. Without teachers, you don't have great scientists. Without teachers, you don't have the great men and women who pride themselves on their great success. But who's their 1st grade teacher? Or their 2nd grade teacher? Or their 3rd grade teacher? Or their 4th grade teacher? And I'm telling you, in some things we're going to have to face a real reality in the communities that have these Title I schools. We're going to have to start facing the truth. And the truth is, because I've been running a free after-school program for 16 years. Many of us in this church have been going out raising $300,000, $400,000 a year. That's what it takes to run this after-school program. And we go out and raise this money so that we don't have to charge parents that need our help. Because these after-school programs, if you had to pay for them, they're very expensive. So I said that to say this, is that the reason why we got to come to the real reality and start facing some real truth. If I was a teacher in some of these Taiwan schools, I guarantee you I would quit. Because there's no way that I'm going to try to round up 30 kids and trying to deal with 10 of them with behavior problems every day and can't teach the other 20. And then I don't have no parents coming to PTA meetings so that I can tell you about your child. The only time I see a parent is I'm coming to you to fuss you out because my child said you did something to them, not realizing you know how your child is at home. Now, I can say that on behalf of the school because it happens to me here. Now, the school have to deal with them. I don't. You fuss me out, but I'm putting you out. And you won't be back. And I'm trying to help you, and you come in here fussing me out. Quick story. Just today when I went to this is not the quick story, this is a side note before the quick story. Just today I went in the boys' bathroom and I'm like, woof. I went over there and I'm like, pfft. Kid goes in the bathroom, he didn't flush the toilet. I walk in there, I don't know, the little boys, and it's a mess. But that's what you have to put up with if you want to really serve people and if you love people. You got to put up with and tolerate some of the things that you don't want to do. And that's what I'm saying about the schools. A lady came in here and said, well, we picked her up, our kids up on the school bus. Miss Carol is the school bus driver. She picks kids up from Tuckasegee. She picks them up every day. We don't charge them for the gas. We don't have no cab fare meter on there. We just pick them up. So the lady, she came back and we asked a $20 application fee. She had 2 kids, had been here 30 days. And the lady said, well, you know, ma'am, you hadn't been doing your hours, your volunteer hours from a free program. Well, we're going to give you a kid. I'm not coming back anymore. Just give me my $40 back. I'm like, what? Now, I can't imagine what teachers deal with. We got to do better. The point I'm making is tonight is the night to own up to the truth. That we got to help our schools and stop making them the problem and accept some of the problems ourselves. Would y'all agree with that? Well, come on, guys. Well, I'm going to talk about the truth tonight. So whoever's prepared, I'm going to help Allenbrook School. Christ Resurrection Church is committed to helping Allenbrook School. We're going to have a PTA in Allenbrook School, and we're going to talk about it tonight. We're going to do all we can. We're going to start one school at a time. I guarantee you this school is going to be one of the best schools in this community because we're going to make a difference. So, if you're K through 5th grade, you got to go. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, I forgot Mike. Well, we'll let Mike hit him in there. Okay. Hold on a minute. Hold on 1 second. We might go over a little bit tonight because this is very critical. I want to also introduce to you our summer program. We've got a lot of people that signed up for our summer program, which starts from June, whatever. But Mike, I want you to come up and tell them a little bit about the art program that you're putting in place this summer here at A Better World. Give Mike a hand.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mike Gu. I'm the director of a program called the Loren Academy of the Arts. It's pretty new, and we're getting our start this summer here at A Better World. So how many of you guys enjoy the arts, like the arts? All right, let me rephrase. How many of you guys listen to music or watch movies or TV? Okay, so everyone with your hands up, you like the arts. So I am a firm believer in the arts. Pastor Ken's talking about dropout rates. Students who are engaged in the arts have a much lower rate of dropping out of school. Students engaged in the arts have much higher grades, score much higher on standardized tests, go to college, get degrees. This is all statistically proven. You engage in the arts and you're just a better person. And it makes sense because you got a right brain, you got a left brain. And in school, you tend to get a lot on your left brain. You're getting a lot of math and science and reading, but budget cuts happen, and the arts tend to be the first thing to go. So your art, your music class, your drama classes, and so that's where my heart's at. My heart is bringing access and opportunity back to engage the arts. And so we're going to start this summer here with the summer camp. And so if you are going to be next year, not this year, but next year, if you will be in middle or high school, you're going to have the opportunity to take 1 or 2 art classes. We're going to offer an introduction to digital photography. So you're going to actually get some high-end cameras, learn how to use them, everyone knows how to pull out their iPhone and snap a picture, but I'm going to give you actually the fundamentals of real photography. And the other class will be a fundamentals of drawing class. So I know I've already seen some artists. I've seen some artwork done up in the school, and so just really kind of trying to hone those skills, teach techniques. You'll start off the summer doing a self-portrait, and you'll end the summer doing a self-portrait. You'll be able to see just how good of an artist you've become over just a mere 6 weeks. So I'm a believer in the arts. I'm really excited to get in here and to work with your students. And I'll probably be back in the next couple weeks to do like an official sign-up because we only have a limited amount of materials and cameras and stuff like that. So the ones who actually want to engage and want to do that, get them signed up. We'll probably have about 6 slots for the photo class, and we'll have about 10 slots for the drawing class. So that's me.
Guys, thanks. And Mike raised the money to make this happen. So I'm telling you, 6 slots for the photography class, middle school, is that right, Mike? Middle and high. I would sign up tonight if I got a chance. and then 9 spots for the art classes. So, we've got a lot going on this summer. We've also got a fashion camp. So I want to thank Vina for working so hard. K through 5th grade, you can leave, and we'll get ready to get this show on the road. Everybody else can move a little forward. All right. Can y'all move a little forward? That's in the back, please. Come up a little, make it a little tighter so we got to really have a community conversation like we're sitting on the front porch talking to family. So come on up, please. Come on up, come on up, come on up, come on up, come on up. I didn't want to do that, but y'all wouldn't move, so I'm just... Thank you. Yvette, would you like to introduce our speakers tonight? Whatever you need, boss lady. I got it. Okay, well, I had them written down, but so that's all right. I got it. Guys, thank you for coming tonight. Well, let me call the names of these, see if any of these individuals in the building. Timothy Perry, Miss Holly, okay, Miss Holly, Miss Watkins, Miss Bates, Miss Moore, Miss Coleman, Hall, Sharon Hall. Oh, Miss Hall. Oh, Miss Hall, I understand. I was like, oh. Miss Wilson. We're in Charlotte. Miss Woodley. Okay. You all signed up for something very special. And I'm going to introduce to Miss Catherine and Miss Xavier Bailey and Miss Bonacera to you tonight. I have committed, and we have committed, this church has committed, my congregation has committed, and I'm getting a coalition of churches that have committed that we're going to help Allenbrook, and we're never going to quit. I don't know how to quit. When I start something, I will not quit. We've got Yvette Parsons, who started Family Fun Night 14 years ago. We're committed to this cause. There will be a PTA in Allenbrook. Is that right? All these names are called? Come on. All these names are called. Susan Cluis, former school teacher and consultant, is going to be the individual that helps you all walk you through the process. So I'm going to get out of the way. My church, our church, is committed. Everything that's inside of us, even to our community garden, which Miss Laura Jennings is back there. Families, we want the families of the church to also be associated with the community garden. We're going to get into that at some other point. But tonight, guys, I am so pleased to have Miss Bonacera and Miss Bailey, the principal and assistant principal of Allenbrook School, come and greet you tonight and talk about the PTA. Let's give them a big hand. Let's give them really a big hand.
Thank you so much. It's so great to see you all somewhere else.
Woo, woo.
And not in my office for some of you. So actually, before we talk about the PTA, I want to just share a brief story with you. For those of you that don't know, I started at Allenbrook in January of 2014. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why we're just starting this conversation now. But before I do that, I want to share this with you. So when I was doing some research about the school, just trying to figure out, what's the history of Allenbrook? I knew Allenbrook a little bit because a school that I worked at as a teacher was considered demographically similar to Allenbrook. So whenever they compared test scores or things like that, Allenbrook was always compared to the school where I was at. So I'd heard a lot about Allenbrook coming up. The reason I wanted to be the principal there, and the reason I thought it was a great fit for me was because it's a community school, and that was something that was really important to me as a teacher. It was important to me as an assistant principal. It was even important to me as a child. I remember the elementary schools sort of being the heart of our community, and that was the experience I wanted to be able to have as a school leader, and there are very few schools in Charlotte where that is possible. But Allenbrook, to me, looked like a place where that was possible. But anyway, so I was doing some research about the school, and a lot of Google searching. And on like the 4th or 5th page of the Google search, there was a transcript of a radio program on NPR called This American Life. They actually, this summer, ran a really interesting story about school desegregation and integration. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, it's called The Problem We All Live With, and you should 100% take the 2 hours and listen to it. But anyway, this story was from November of 2000. So when you talk about 16 years ago, Pastor Ken, you got me really thinking about this, because 16 years ago, this episode was called Election. It was the eve of the presidential election, the Gore-Bush election. And this was prior to federal education reform. So this is prior to No Child Left Behind, which you may have heard about. North Carolina had already started some school reform efforts. And so this episode was about some initial findings about, how the school turnaround was going. And Allenbrook was featured in this episode. And they were heralding all of this progress that was being made at this underperforming school, all these things that were happening, and they felt like the school was really on the precipice of greatness. But as I was sitting in my office, actually I reread this story about 2 days ago, the gravity of the fact that that was 16 years ago. 16 years, the students who were in kindergarten when that story came out are now sophomores or juniors in high school. And Allenbrook still has not achieved the unspoken promise that we make to each one of you every single day that your children come to our school, which is that they're going to have a safe, productive, joyful learning experience that is going to prepare them for success in middle school, high school, and beyond. We make that promise, and we are not yet delivering on that for every child and every family. So when I came into the school, what I was really thinking about was, so why aren't we delivering on that promise? And so this speaks to why we are just now starting this work about parents and community. Because what I found when I got to Allenbrook was there were teachers there who were not yet doing service for kids in the way that we needed them to. That they didn't know the content well enough, that they didn't have the experience needed to really teach in their classroom. That student discipline was out of control. Kids were all over the place doing whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. Now that's not 100% right yet, and neither are the academics. But we've really spent the last 2.5 years or so trying to get right what's inside the 4 walls of our building. And so this spring, Xavier and I have been doing a lot of planning, thinking about what's our next move for next year. And I want to give her an opportunity to just kind of share where we're at with that and then sort of where we're headed.
Okay. As we move forward into the next year, all the work that's already been done at Allenbrook with building a culture for our students and for our staff, we have to continue in that work. So one of the things that's really, really important to us is relationships. And so what we find is that students are going to perform better academically if they have trusting relationships with adults in the building. This is also going to speak to when we get to the parent engagement part of this as well, because of course what we're finding is that, yes, we're getting these things in place, but there's this thing about roots that we have to get to, which is the parent engagement piece. But as we move forward to next year, just really keeping relationships at the forefront so that students and teachers are engaging in trusting relationships and that communication is positive, and that students are feeling confident and ready to learn. And so that's the first piece. So when we look at student culture, we're looking to make sure that that's how our students feel when they come in the building, and that they come in their classrooms and they feel really great about the work that they're getting ready to do. As we move into staff culture, we need that for our teachers as well. They need to come to work and be excited and be ready to go and ready to do the work that we need to do. And so again, it feeds back into that piece of parent engagement, which is why we're here to talk tonight, that the support that parents can provide really improve that for teachers as well. And so as these things start to thread together, we can continue to move that work forward. Lastly, we're going to talk a little bit about academic performance, because we're a school, and so we're trying to grow. We're trying to grow our numbers and our proficiency and making sure that our students are college and career ready. We want them to be able to leave Allenbrook successfully, going into middle school ready for the next stage in their education, so that they're not behind the bar. And so what happens is that they come in our pre-K program and matriculate all the way through 5th grade. We need our scholars to be at grade level or above. And so the work that we're doing to build that and to make that happen is already got a great deal of momentum, and so we've got to continue in that work. The way we do that is using literacy, I'm sure you've heard, is our North Star. And so literacy is paramount. That's the first thing that all of our students need to be able to do. Not only reading, which is the first thing that we're always talking about, but literacy encompasses writing and speaking as well. And so it translates in their science understanding and their mathematics understanding, as well as social studies. And so continuing to move in that direction with literacy as the forefront. We use a really innovative program that we took on this year that our teachers are very excited about, and we've already seen amazing gains from our students because of this program, and so we're going to continue in that work. And so the added piece, or what I even like to say is really the most important piece, is adding in the community and parent engagement element. That changes the trajectory of education for our students in a major way. And so what happens when you have parent and community engagement is that all of those things that I just spoke about are utterly changed. So the way students come to school, happy and ready to learn, excited about school, starts at home with their parents' experience of school and their belief in school, and them saying, all right, we're getting ready to go to Allenbrook, and feeling connected to that. And as well, the teachers being able to contact parents and communicate about what's happening at school, and that they're met with a partnership, and they're met with a collaboration and a relationship of trust between parent and school. And then also when it comes to academics, that it's that full wraparound. So when we're sending work home and it's coming back, that communication is seamless, and that students and parents feel confident about the work that they're doing. So we realize that has to happen as well. So again, we've got the work kind of going and moving in the right direction for student, staff, and academic culture. And now we've got to add in that most critical piece of parent and community engagement.
So how many of you, is there anybody in the room that has a first grade student? Okay, parents of first grade students. Do you know what your students are studying in literacy right now? No? Ms. Hadwiger, can I put you on the spot? Would you share with the first grade parents what their students are studying in literacy right now? So I had a first grader come up to me and say, Miss Sarah, did you know that we purchased Louisiana from Napoleon? Did any of you know that we purchased Louisiana? And then they went on to say, and Napoleon was really busy fighting a war, and so he needed money, and so he sold Louisiana to the United States so that he could have money for the war that he was fighting. That was a first grade student. Okay, so I say that to say that our teachers are committed to making sure that they are providing a rigorous academic experience for your students. Second grades, they're reading about the War of 1812 right now. I personally do not remember studying the War of 1812, but if you talk to a second grader, they can certainly tell you all about it. Our fifth graders just finished a unit about desegregation in sport. Our fourth graders did a comprehensive unit about simple machines that was a science unit that was an in-depth study of this. So we've really been focused on making sure that we're doing our part, right? So on a personal note, I have a 5-year-old in a CMS school. And my 5-year-old comes home every day with a reading folder. And inside his reading folder are 5 books on his reading level that he is required to read, and I am required to sign, and they go back to school, and he has to read a certain number of books in a certain period of time, because what we know is that for students to progress from one reading level to the next, there's a certain number of books on that level that they actually have to read. It's not enough for them to just sit in the classroom and get instruction for their teacher. They actually have to read a certain number of books to move from one level to the next. And the reality is, there's not enough hours in the day for the students to do that volume of reading just at school. But let's think about what it takes for my son's teacher to organize this kind of reading folder, reading log situation, right? So she actually has 24 students in her classroom. It's a mixed age classroom, so she has pre-K and kindergarten students. They're all reading on different reading levels. She swaps their books out once a week, and she monitors every single day how many books that they've read and if they've done what they need to do, and the parent has signed. So I would say she does that, but she doesn't. She doesn't have the capacity to do that. If she was doing that, she wouldn't be teaching my son during the day, right? She would just be tracking books. That's all made possible because she has a parent volunteer who comes in to manage reading folders for her. Gone are the days of every teacher having an assistant. If you would like to see that again in schools, you need to go vote in November. But even voting in November probably won't change that. So those days are gone. We do not have the resources to provide every classroom teacher with an assistant that can do that type of work. And so if we want to say we want a reading folder program and we want kids to take home books, which we have the books. We have the materials to do that. We just don't have the time. So if we want that for our kids, someone's got to step up to the plate to do it. And that's where a PTA comes in. That's where room parents comes in. That's where volunteers come in that are willing to do that work for us so that we can provide that experience for all students. Now, there's a lot of parents who say, and we are very sensitive to this, we want people to be able to pay their bills. And if you have to work, whenever you have to work, you have to work. And so, but there are still ways. I use myself as an example again. I work like a crazy person. I work probably 65, 70, 80 hours a week given the time of the school year. So I have to say to my son's teacher, how can I be engaged even though I might not be able to show up all the time? I can't. It's just not, it's not possible. And so she gives me different things to do. So, for example, she does a monthly newsletter. And so sometimes I write a paragraph for her for the monthly newsletter. Or if she needs materials for the classroom, she sends a list home. I look around, hey, do I have, an extra roll of paper towels I can send to the classroom? There are other ways to support what's happening in the school without actually being in the school. So when we think about how do we increase parent engagement, we need to have a really broad definition of what parent engagement is and what it looks like, because there are
Another way, or something I was thinking of as you were talking, is that engagement often means the work that you're doing at home to support the work that's happening at school. So even if you can't come to school or you can't send things in, doing the work with your students at home is being engaged. It's sending the message to students that not only is school important, Because we can say school is important, you need to do your work. But if you sit down and do the work with them, they start to believe that it's not only important, but it's important to you. And kids want to please you. That's what they naturally want to do. That's naturally who they are. And so when they start to see, oh, this is important to mommy and daddy and grandma, like, I've got to do this. We're going to sit down and do it together. She's going to be listening to see if I'm going to my next level. It's personal for them. It builds intrinsic motivation for students. It's not just, oh, if you do good, I'm going to give you $20. Because that's outward stuff. That inside stuff is really what makes people excel. And I think the other thing is that what I'm thinking of is that often in venues like this, you're kind of preaching to the choir. So the other part is that we need you for that communication out to parents who aren't in the room yet. So that next year, this time, that this room is full, right? So that we really get some momentum around the people here to reach out in your community so that it grows even more. Because like I said, often venues like this is preaching to the choir. They're like, yeah, I'm nodding my head. I do that. I got that, right? You feel really good and really confident, and you should, because you are doing that work. But there are lots of families that we need to engage at Allenbrook that aren't yet doing that work.
Yeah. So I think what may be good at this point is to open the floor up for questions. And no question is off limits. If we can't answer it, we'll let you know we can't answer it at this moment. But you could ask questions about PTA. If you want to ask us questions about school, we've got a teacher in the room who I'm sure also could answer some questions. There's tons of community conversation right now about student reassignment and desegregation and integration and busing and all of that, which Xavier and I are happy to field questions about that. But I think what's important is that we just start a dialogue, because at the end of the day, they're all of our kids. At the end of the day, they're all of our kids. And statistics tell us that our kids in Charlotte, North Carolina, as the statistics show right now, do not have a chance to get out of the situation that they are in. We rank 50th in social mobility out of 50 cities in this country. So what that means is that a child born into poverty in Charlotte has the worst chance across this nation of getting out of it. But what I believe with all of my heart is that the one thing that will get them out and get them to a better life, which I know if anything is common amongst parents, is that we want a better life for our child than we have, regardless of our situation. The one thing that will get them out is education. That is it. So, questions, thoughts, comments? Sir, you said you had 12, right? So currently we are a letter D school. Allenbrook last year, so some of you know this because you experienced this with us, had 120 more students show up for school than were planned for in school. So what that meant, if you had a fifth grader at Allenbrook last year, was that your fifth grader for about 3 months was in a class with 40 students. Because we were supposed to have just under 60 fifth graders, and we had 84 fifth graders. So there was a ton of challenges that were system related last year that we have resolved this year. Our data right now is showing proficiency levels in the anywhere from like 40 to 65% range depending on the subject area, and so that will probably move us into like a C school if that holds true for the EOGs. Yep. Yeah, so when the state gives the letter grades, which just started last year, that's all based on EOG proficiency and if you the growth status. So if students are not meeting growth, or exceeding growth. Those are the two factors. Sure. So in CMS, a Title I school is any school that has more than 70% of students that qualify for free or reduced price lunch. Now, what you all know is that everybody gets free lunch at Allenbrook. So the way that is calculated is through a federal program called CEP. So students are directly certified, which basically means if you have Medicaid, food stamps, that kind of thing, kids are automatically enrolled. And so we no longer have that free and reduced lunch number. The last time they took that data, though, was in 2014, and 95% of our students were receiving free or reduced price lunch. Yeah, Allenbrook is also a Project Lift school, so for folks that don't know about that, so that's an initiative to support the 8 schools and West Charlotte High School. So it's all 8 elementary and middle schools that feed into West Charlotte. So our feeder pattern for Allenbrook, our students are at Allenbrook for middle school, or for elementary school. Most of them will go to Whitewater Academy for middle school, and then they will go to West Charlotte for high school if they stay exactly where they live. So Project Lift is in year 4 of the initiative, and that will stay for at least 6 years. And with that comes a lot of additional resources and supports that range from financial to human resource to technology. All of our 2nd through 5th graders have access to a Chromebook, and that part of that was funded through Project Lift.
And let me keep it right where keep it home.
Yeah.
Charlotte, 50th in the nation. If you were born in poor in Charlotte, the chances are you'll die poor. Now, Allenbrook, 95% free and reduced, meaning that most children that go there, basically what the statistics are saying, that their children will also live on free and reduced lunch. That's what that's saying. That's keeping it real. So basically what it's saying, if a child that goes to Allenbrook in Charlotte, that their children will also be in poverty. So now what is that saying? We got a long time, 16 years, promises, couldn't be kept, and teachers are not the fault. The administrators are not the fault. I'm telling you this, I know this. I've been doing this in this arena for 16 years. I am a supplement to the schools. I guarantee you, most of the kids that come to a better world that go to Allenbrook do fairly well at Allenbrook. I guarantee they do. I guarantee they do, because we work with them, we check those folders. We look at that homework every day. But I'm asking you a question tonight. Do we want 16 years to go by a 3rd grader, a 2nd, 1st through 5th grader at Allenbrook? That child, the chances are, this is what they're saying, and these statistics are high, that child will have children that will be in poverty. Now, what is that saying to somebody in here before I ask the next question? What is that saying to any of you? Say that again. Anybody else? What is that saying to you? Yeah. Can you believe, I'm going to let you skip. Can you believe that they're saying a child in the 3rd grade that's on free and reduced lunch, that their child will, the chances are, the huge chance that child will also have free and reduced lunch? That's crazy. That's saying that's not, and we're not talking about teachers here. We're talking about a community.
I think that's the really important thing to highlight, because it's very easy, and I think both the schools and parents potentially fall into this trap. It's easy to blame the other one, right? It's easier to say, it's easier to point your finger than your thumb sometimes, and to say, that teacher isn't doing for my child. Or a teacher may come in my office and be like, this parent doesn't care. She won't answer my phone call anymore. Right? That's the easy road out, because then it becomes nobody's fault that the child is failing. right? It's easier if I say, oh, well, the parent's not doing anything, then it's the parent's fault, and then I don't have to take responsibility. And the parent can say it's the teacher's fault or it's the school's fault, and then the parent doesn't have to feel like it's their responsibility, and they don't have to feel like they failed as a parent. But at the end of the day, like, it's actually all of us collectively as a community that have to do this work together.
Now,
Exactly.
if you took one of those parents at their school, now watch this, and told that parent, your children would probably be getting free and reduced lunch like your child. You got a fight on your hand. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? This is serious stuff, and this stuff has been going on. This stuff has been going on for now a couple generations. 16 years. Do you know, now watch this, a child that was 5 16 years ago was what? 21. And if he's still in poverty, and especially 70% dropout rate for African American males, the chances are that that male ended up in prison somewhere. That is long-term, watch this, I call that long-term torture. You're going to torture a child all the way into poverty, and then that child's children will be tortured into poverty because a community decided, I don't want to get involved. A community said, I'm going to send it to the school and let the teachers do it while I sit back and do nothing. But yet, I look 20 years later, now I got a grandchild on welfare. Now I got a great-grandchild on welfare. It can change. We can change this in a year. We don't have to wait 16 years to change this. We can change this in a year. I was just sitting back there thinking. Now, I like that kids want to please you. I'm going to use that one. I started this after-school program 16 years ago with 8 kids, 2 days a week, and some juice and some snacks. But I vowed that I would never quit. And the thing that you look around this building here. How many kids you have at Allenbrook?
About 560.
So 560, and I'm going to divide it up by 2, so maybe 300 parents, but probably a little more. I just gave every parent 2 kids.
Some have a lot more.
Yeah. I know some got about 2 or 3. So if we had 100 parents in here, look around you. Basically what they're saying to me is the statistics have been proven that Charlotte is, if you're born poor, you're going to die poor in Charlotte. It's proven out of the 50 states in America, top cities in America. So basically what the rest of the parents are saying, I don't believe that. I'm just going to cross that bridge when I get to it. Now, okay, now there's your grandchild on welfare, going to a Title I school. Because I didn't want to put 16 years of hard work. I've done it. These are not my kids. But I love these kids. I sacrificed 16 years of my life. Graduated every kid that ever came, stayed with this program. There's got to be some sacrifice in this community. And we may not fix every school, but we can fix Allenbrook.
And I just wanted to say, I guess what I think about right now is a silver lining. What's the answer? Because the answer isn't necessarily to make more money automatically poverty is erased, but the cure often or the way out of that is access. And what education does is it brings access. So I have a really personal and powerful example for this space. We have 2 5th grade girls who go to A Better World and also go to Allenbrook. And these 2 young ladies are exceptional scholars. They are outperforming their peers. They are gifted and talented students. And because of this, they'll be going to Piedmont Middle School as opposed to Whitewater. And I'm not knocking Whitewater. Clap it up for them. But what that provides them is access. Access and experiences that they may not have at Whitewater. Not a slight to Whitewater, just a different experience, different kids, different people, different friends to make, different goals to be exposed to, different homes to walk into to see how they live. And now they're setting their sights on something else. It opens up opportunity. Their education has now opened a door for their future. It is likely that they will continue to excel, go to college, be gainfully employed, and then come back and do what they've seen done. And so what is that, right? So we have to create that for more and more students. And so we can talk about generational poverty because that's a very real thing. But the way out of generational poverty is education. And so the work that a school is doing, the work that a community does around that is what makes the catalyst for that change for our students. No.
By this adorable baby over here.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
A very fresh baby, it looks like.
And so, like I said, as I'm listening to Pastor Ken talk, I just really want that to be brought back to the connection as to why we're here. Because again, generational poverty is very real. And if we're living in poverty and it's, I don't know how to get out of this. And if you don't know how to get out, that's fine, right? You may not. But the seeds that you sow into your child's education gets them out and changes the trajectory of your family's existence. And so now your family is no longer a part of generational poverty because one kid got out, went to college, got a job. Now they have a family and education is what they do. So then their kids go to college and now you've changed the trajectory of generational poverty. And so we've got to start now.
And it doesn't necessarily always mean that you leave the community. Right? Because as more and more families go on this journey together, what changes is this community. Yes. Look at these houses over here. These are beautiful homes, built in the late 50s, I think, early 60s. And Allenbrook was built to serve this community. I don't know if you all know this. The land that Allenbrook sits on was donated by the family who owned the farm that was here, that the community was developed on. I actually had the opportunity to meet the son of the original owners of this land 2 summers ago. And he was telling me stories about when the school was built, and it was the center of this community. It was built to serve this community. And so that's the place we've got to get back to. That it should be a vibrant, thriving community with a school and churches at its heart. So what other questions are in the room? Yeah. Sure. Yep. Yes, you have a couple of options. So all of that goes through CMS's student placement office, which Miss A in our front office can help you call and get in touch with them and go through that process. But what you basically will do is a request for reassignment. And what I would really encourage you to do is say that he comes here for his after-school care, because that may be some leverage for him being able to stay at Allenbrook. Typically, those requests come to me, and I have to approve them. So if you let me know. So it's good for you to be here tonight. Now, I will say this. I cannot approve every reassignment request because, as you know, we have 560 students. We have 10 mobile classrooms, and we are 148% over capacity. So it becomes very challenging to approve every request, but if the requests are reasonable, I tend to say yes.
And not only are the classrooms overcrowded, the school buses are too.
Yep.
And that's why we're having so many issues. Guys, we can either fight now or cry later. Mm-hmm. And as Ms. Bailey said, education can change your path. It doesn't mean you leave the community.
So I would offer up as you talk about overcrowding. So at the CMS board meeting, was that last week or the week before? They voted on a bond referendum. So a bond is the way our school district is able to get capital money to build new schools, to renovate schools. And the way they decide which projects to include is they actually rank every facility, all of the needs, and then they kind of figure out, like, what do they think the county commissioners will approve. And so Allenbrook, in the ranking, we're number 50. And we're number 50 for actually a replacement school. So we would have a brand new building, which would be wonderful, right? So we're number 50. But given the climate of politics in this community and this state, the school board did not feel like there was the political will to have, it was going to be like a $1.3 billion bond, would have been the top 50 projects. 1.3 billion, and it's over like 5 years. But given the rhetoric of the county commissioners, the state, they just didn't think that they would get to be able to get that passed. And so they did the top 29 projects. It's about 830 million. And so Allenbrook was not included. Now, I would argue, because I've seen the list, and actually a school where I used to work made the list. It was number 13. That school is at 98% capacity. Allenbrook is at 148%. But here's what I know about that school. That school has an active parent-teacher association that is loud. They show up to meetings, and they have figured out how to advocate for their school. And it is a school that looks a little different demographically than Allenbrook, but not vastly different. Not vastly different. So there is something to be said for how active parents are in the dialogue, because if we just sit back and say, okay, we'll make do with what we've got, then we're never gonna, our name is never gonna be called. Another example of that right now is all this talk about student assignment. How many of you have heard about the student assignment plan? A few people. So I'd love to know just from the room, like, what do you all know about, like, what's your understanding of what's happening? I saw at least 5 people right there. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the interesting thing. So every 6 years, the school board is required by law to reevaluate the way students are assigned to schools. So Allenbrook is a neighborhood school. We serve students that live in proximity to our school. Not every school in Charlotte is like that. But as you know, at one point in history, we had desegregation orders in Charlotte, right? And so there was court-ordered busing. Did any of you all experience that as students? Yeah, a couple of you. So then there was another court case that ruled that unconstitutional, ended it, and it got really complicated. And essentially what's happened, what we're seeing is that our schools have resegregated because our communities are segregated for the most part. And so the school board said, all right, in this year is our 6-year review, we want to make sure that our schools are diverse. Like, that's one of the guiding principles. Because what they've also done research about is that, so we've talked about students with the free and reduced lunch students. So if a student receives free lunch and they're in a high poverty school like Allenbrook, they receive free lunch, they're going to perform, can I use your hands? Okay, so they're going to perform, let's say their academic performance is here. Free lunch in a school with kids who mostly get free lunch. Now, if that same kid who gets free lunch goes to a school where kids don't get free lunch, most of them don't get free lunch, so same kid, different school setting, academic performance goes from here to here. Okay? Now, a student who does not receive free lunch and is in a school where most students do not receive free lunch, their academic performance is here. Now, if that same student comes to Allenbrook, their performance goes like this. So what that tells us is that all students benefit from being in economically diverse schools. So eliminating high concentrations of poverty, which is when we talk about 95%, I think we would all agree that that's a high concentration of poverty. So the school board is trying to figure out, like, how do we tackle this? And there's a whole population of people that are concerned that the school board is leaning towards an answer being busing, which they haven't necessarily said is the answer. There's a group of people that want the answer to be something around more choice, so more magnet schools, options, that kind of thing. And there's a group of people that say, I just really want my kids to go to school that's closest to my house. None of those are necessarily like they're all equally the same. Like, everybody can have their opinion. But what our school board is doing right now is starting to have a conversation about what do we want to do as a city? And so we also need to think about, like, what do we want to do for our community? What do parents that live here want? Because I certainly have heard a lot from folks that live in Ballantyne as I watch school board meetings about what they want. And I've heard an awful lot for people that live around where I do in NODA. They have some opinions too, and their opinions are different than the folks that live in Ballantyne. So, but what I haven't heard, very much of anyway, what are the folks that live off of Freedom Drive? What about the folks that live like Beatty's Ford? What's their opinion? Because don't tell me that we want to sit here and let somebody else decide for what's best for our children.
To the school board meetings.
Yep.
Because of the time frame.
Yep.
So they scheduled their own type of not PTA, school board meeting with the school board.
Yeah.
And I think that's another issue that some parents can't get to these meetings to let their voice be heard.
I agree. And so we've got to figure out, like, what are the other ways? I think that was a really powerful way for that community. Mm-hmm. Yep. So did you all know that you were invited to that? Okay, good. Mm-hmm. He can get that too for free. Oh, okay.
So
Yep.
free and reduced lunch is just a measure that they
Yeah.
use to determine, but I agree, it's not so much about the actual lunch. And even in all CMS schools, all students have free breakfast. All schools, no matter what, no matter the demographics.
Yeah, and I know there are a lot of different things that are going on, but now it's time for us to make some decisions, because we're going to be talking about this for a minute. And you guys have they informed us, really?
Good.
I mean, so now it's time. We have adopted Allenbrook, and we're going to fight. So everyone name or call, I want you to come up front. PTA folk, those people that are called your name.
Miss Woodley, I know I heard your name earlier. I did.
And you don't have to be a parent of Allenbrook to be a part of this solution. Now, we can talk all day long about what the problem is. Susan, will you come up? This is where we start. This is your team. Come on, guys. I mean, listen, see, we didn't come here to talk. We came here to inform, but we came here with some action. And Susan is going to be the liaison. you know, because sometimes I know that you parents think that some of this language that people use, the school systems use, you might feel a little uncomfortable and say, oh, I'm not good enough to do that. You are good enough to make this happen because you're going to have good people. Susan is a retired school teacher out of CMS. And she's saying,
I want to be like her when I grow up.
And thank you back there, young lady. Guys, give our first grade teacher a hand. These are the people we should be celebrating. So we're going to get this thing on the road. So now, we got to figure all this out. You know, I know that we talked about some other things. You know, there's a $4,000 something else that we're going to figure our way around that.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that I'm going to hook Susan up with somebody that might be able to help get that wiped clean.
So we're going to put this PTA in Allenbrook. Are you guys, are y'all in this all the way? Don't have us calling you, Tiffany.
You know, I haven't had to call her recently.
Is there anyone else that want to join this now? I mean, doesn't mean you can't be. Come on up. We want you up here. Okay? No, because guys, let me tell you something. There's no need to complain when a school is 50% over capacity and another school is 98, not even 98% capacity, 98% capacity, and they get a school because their voices were louder. Squeaky wheel gets the oil. So this is where we start. This is your team. So Susan is going to start setting up the times to meet with you all. She's going to be liaison between you guys and Miss Bonacera. I mess up her name.
Got it. No, you got it.
And who can't say Miss Bailey? And
no, so they like there to be between 8 and 12 people to get things started, but I think we can. I think we can get it going.
okay.
Yeah.
So this is the team. Now, guys, listen. You just heard some terrible statistics, right? But we can change this thing. I'm telling you, we can. So today is today for change. Today is the day for change, is the list. Today is, and make sure you get a copy. Would you guys copy of this list?
That would be great.
This is the team. I want you guys, I'm making a big deal out of this. I want y'all just come and stand up here with me. I'm making a big deal out of this. And I want y'all to take a snapshot and Facebook this. I want everybody to snapshot. This is Allen Brooks' new PTA. Tell them they didn't have a PTA. Now Facebook this. Come in here, Susan. I'm getting out of it. I'm not in it. Yes, you do. What are you scared of? Get your young people. Have a seat, young people. Have a seat. Come on in. Go on in. Go on in. Tighten it up. No, young people, have a seat. Hey. Now, I want you guys should be getting your snapshots out to get this, because this is Allen Brooks' PTA, new PTA. Hold on. Now, shouldn't this be reported? This is Allen Brooks' new PTA. Now for the rest of you, you got to get involved too. They've got 500, 600 students there, and we've got maybe 10 parents here. But you know what? Don't despise small beginnings, because we're going to win with what we got.
the most important thing the people in the audience can do is when these ladies up here call you and ask you to help, is for you to say yes. Because they will be calling you. And they will need you to say yes, because I have a feeling that they have some big dreams and some big ideas and some big vision. I see their wheels turning already. But if they pick up the phone and they keep getting no's, all that's going to do is be discouraging. They cannot do it themselves. They have jobs and families and responsibilities. They can be the steering committee, but they cannot do it by themselves. They will need you. They will need your neighbors. They will need lots of people beyond what's in this room. So I just encourage you when they call for the first time, if you can say yes, say yes.
Now, we're going to give, did you guys want to say anything else?
I just wanted
No,
to say
you talk
thank
as long
you.
as you want.
My husband's probably like, where is she, right?
Yeah, that's all. Okay.
No, I just wanted to say thank you. This has been,
Listen up, guys.
the day you were described coming to my office, I was ready for a fight too. I knew some folks were coming to complain to me, and I was like, you know what, bring it on. Like, you want to do this, you can have it. You can have the keys, you can have the desk, take it.
And I say the same thing sometimes. Listen, but they can't have this building. I'm like, get off the property.
Yeah. So I'm just ready to give up the job. You can have it. But I left that conversation completely changed in my mindset, having a sense of possibility that I did not have before, and feeling immense humility to even be able to be a part of this community, and very thankful that I get to serve the families and the students and the members of this community that have such a deep history and tradition. Like I started saying, that was what I wanted when I found a school. People ask me all the time, like, what are you doing next? And I'm like, I'm happy at Allenbrook right now. Like, I just want to be at Allenbrook. And I can be at Allenbrook for a very, very long time. So I just want to thank you for bearing with us in that conversation, because I think we were both ready for a battle there at a moment. And for organizing this night, for inviting us to be a part of it, and for the moms that signed up to start our PTA. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And grandparents.
And finally.
But you look like just a mom.
And see, so that's 12 schools, Title I schools without a PTA. Now it's 11.
That's right.
And you know what we're going to do with this? We're going to cut it down to 10. And then it's going to be 9. Because we're going to show the community that they may have us in the top 50 as far as failure, but we're going to show them that we're going to be number 1 in success, because we can do it. And we're going to support our teachers, right? And we're going to support our administrators. And we're not going to go up there fussing. We're going to go up there with solutions, because she just might give you the keys until you can have the office.
That's right. And one last plug. Don't forget that tomorrow is the last day of Teacher Appreciation Week. So if you have not had the opportunity to appreciate your teacher this week, tomorrow is your chance. And Ms. Bailey has one other plug.
Okay, plug them.
You all know that EOGs are coming up, and we really need support with proctors. So proctors are people who come, and they're in the room with the students during the test. You don't talk, you don't do anything. You just get to watch and make sure that the students are staying on the right bubble with the right letter. And if you would like to support us with that, I could truly use your support. Testing is for about approximately 6 days total. And so I need about 12 people every day for that testing to happen. And so I will find a way to get a sign up if you would like to sign up. Thank you so much for volunteering. If anyone would like to sign up to help with that, please do that tonight. I will reach out to you, if not this week, with tomorrow being Friday, early next week to set that up. Yes. They start on May 25th, 26th, and they run. Then there's a holiday break. There's a work day and then a holiday, and we start back up, I think, on June 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then again on the 7th.
And parents, I am so proud of you. Does anyone else want to sign up tonight?
Even if it's just one day.
Now, we're not going to stop here. we've got another community up here. What's the name of the community? Windy Valley. We're going to get all these parents involved. And so thank you, guys. Y'all ready to have some fun? All right, let's get some prizes going here, some door prizes. Let's give them another hand tonight. We need, hold on. We need some sign-ups for Proctor here. Anybody can do it.
This is for proctoring. It's going to be coming. Just put your name and the best way to read it. Okay. Thank you so much.
Come on here, girl. Didn't you teach it? Well, you. Okay. Does anybody? Did you guys get a copy of this? Did everybody, you ones that signed up for the PTA, did you guys get a copy of this?
This is one name that's not on it.
Okay. Okay. Did you put your name on it? You got to speak up. Come on. Who needed did everybody get a copy of this? Or if you just want a copy, know the names of the individuals that's on that PTA. Thank you. Guys, we got to fight now. This is just time out sitting back, being cool. We got to fight. We're fighting back. All right. Vanna, what you giving away tonight? We got gift cards tonight. Walmart gift cards. All right. And one of the other things I have for you is if you win a gift card, you get one of these with it. And anybody would like a beautiful throw rug, brand new? Amen. Amen. All right. Well, here we go. We've got some Forest Hill volunteers here tonight, life group volunteers. Stephanie. Yeah. All right. And you guys know Yvette. Let me pull her up so you can see her. Let me see. Wait a minute. Here we go. All right. Yeah. Here we go. For how many? What are we giving away? Whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
$50.
843-7302.
$50. Done. Oh, I see. That's got some excitement.
Come on.
Well, let's keep rolling.
Is it you? Oh, so sorry. Yeah. Read it again.
She didn't get it. We'll keep it moving. 843-7302. Come on up. What are you waiting on? Get out of here. $50. Give her a hand. You get one of these. Well, that's okay. Yeah. Hey, is my po-po friend out there? No. All right. Oh, they can't figure it out, so I'm waiting on them.
All right, next number. 843-7311. For a gift card. We don't know how much.
$20.
843-7311.
All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep it rolling.
843-7330.
All right. Give him a hand. Come on, guys. Come on. Woo, 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 woo. All right. Give this young man a hand. Do you wash clothes? Yeah. All right. When the last time you used your washer? When the last time you used your washer and dryer?
Every week.
All right. Well, he needs this detergent. All right. Give him a hand. Fine young man. All right. Keep it rolling.
All right. Let's do another 50. 843-7276. Yay!
Come on up, sister girl. Did you join the PTA?
I love this job. Proctoring. Yeah.
Oh, you're proctoring, huh?
Wear some comfy shoes.
All right, loctoring, proctoring, soctoring, froctoring. All right, give her a hand. She's looking all sad. She got
A $20 gift card. 843-7293.
Oh, y'all was just so excited. All right, we're going to keep moving.
Next one. 843-7295.
Come on. You can win. It's okay. Okay. All right.
Okay, so let me see. Who knows the name of Allen Brooks' mascot? That was the first. Say again? Yellow Jackets or Buzz. Perfect. So whatever I got, you get. Come and get it.
Get one of these. Give them one of these. Okay. Come on, guys. Give Miss Bailey a hand, guys. Don't y'all just love it? Amen. Amen. All right, here we go.
Another $20 gift card. 843-7285.
All right. Come on, guys. Give her a hand. Give her a hand. I know you wash a lot of clothes. Here we go. Here we go.
843-7321. Oh, so close. No.
Moving right along.
Next one. Okay. Got to be here to win. 843-7280.
Moving right along.
843-7312. Oh, what? Oh, come on. Come on then.
No, let him come and get it. We're going to get him up out that seat. No, you cannot get it for him. Absolutely not. We're going to see what kind of stroll he got. Let me see. Oh, he's strolling hard. That's all. Give your brother a hand. Give him a hand. Amen. Whatever you want. All right. He likes to wash dishes. He's got the dishwashers.
843-7293.
Rolling right along.
843-7321.
Rolling right along. How you remember that?
843-7290.
Moving right along.
This is not good. 843-7283.
Moving right along.
Somebody has got to win. 843-7315. Yes.
2. Everybody say 2. No. 2.
843-7307.
Moving right along.
843-7326.
Ah, here comes that mother. Future Allen Brooks child. Whatever you want. You're going to need 2 because you got a lot of washing to do.
Next one, 843-7325.
Here she come, Mama Hall. Dishes. Dishes. She said dishes.
All right, we're going for 50. Listen closely. 843-7309.
Oh, somebody just walked out on 50.
Oh, they should have stayed. 843-7320.
They missing hard.
Man. 843-7328.
Wow. Give her a hand, guys. Give Venus a hand. You guys don't know now, she prepares a lot of hot meals in that kitchen. Amen. 50. Get you one. All right, give her another hand, guys.
All right. 843-7282.
Moving right along.
All right, which one are we doing here? Okay, back to the $20 one. 843-7300.
What?
I'm trying. 843-7304.
All right, Miss Smith. Give Miss Smith a hand, guys. Clothing a dish. All right, give her another hand, everyone.
All right, 843-7289.
Where's Renee? What, you talking tonight? Are you talking tonight? How you doing, brother? ¿Cómo está? Yeah. See? My brother. Where's Renee? You talking tonight?
All right, 843-7288.
Moving right along.
843-7310.
Moving right along.
843-7297.
Who had these tickets? This place should have been packed.
843-7319.
Give Miss Veronica like this. You looking at that rug? Are you looking at this rug? Go ahead, you can have it. Amen. Give her another hand, guys. She was looking at that rug. She was like.
Gift card. All right, guys, last gift card.
Last gift card and $50 and everything on this card. You can give it to them wherever you want. Huh? So what? Well, let's call some off for that before we call that last 50. Let's call it off for 2 of each for these, and then we'll call the 50 last. Oh.
843-7287.
God, I've never had these many missed numbers. What happened? Who gave the tickets out?
Little kids did. All right, next one, 843-7309. Yeah. It's not her. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Should have seen her yesterday telling me I need to go home.
All right,
843-7279. Come on.
I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to fix this and say, did you win? Well, your mama. Oh, okay. Get you one of these and a dishwasher. And yeah, here, let me show your mom why she couldn't. Go, carry that. Show your mama why she should have came up here. Here, so just carry it all, okay? All right.
843-7314. 843-7301. 843-7313. Y'all are messing with me. Okay, 843-7318. Yeah!
Come on up, brother. All right, get one of... Yeah, no, that's one of each. Oh, no. Well. All right, this is for $50 in the whole deal. I am ready to go home. We got a PTA for Allenbrook, 12 and 11 to go. Hey, I said a PTA for Allenbrook. Hurt my ears. A PTA for Allenbrook. $50 and all the marbles. You go to Allenbrook? You may not know numbers. Let somebody else know. I'm just kidding, guys.
You can do it.
I'm just kidding. He goes to A Better World. Remember what they said. The two fifth graders from A Better World, just so you just heard tonight.
843-7308.
You just clean it up tonight. You better be a great PTA member too. Clean the house. You get to take it out. Guys, let us stand and be dismissed. I'm going to let you all dismiss us tonight. Miss Bailey, you guys.
Well, thank you all so much for coming. This has just been wonderful. Just the first of many times to get together and fellowship and learn from one another and grow and continue to build the bond between this church, this community, and our school. I know that I am overjoyed and just really excited about the work that we're going to do together, because I know what a difference it's going to make in the life of our kids. And I just feel full. I got 2 signatures, though, so if anybody else wants to send them to Proctor, I would love to take your signature. I'm going to let Ms. Bonasera close us out.
Again, I just want to thank you for this tremendous opportunity, not only this evening, but the fact that you share your children with us each and every day. We love them with all of our hearts and really want the world for them. And would just appreciate your support in this journey that we are on as a school and as a community. And I think today is a first step of many together. And that is what is going to really turn around the work that we're doing. So thank you again for having us, engaging in this conversation. And we're just excited for what the future holds.
And you want everything, so you come and pray over these families tonight. Get on up here. God bless you. You can't pray to it? I fixed that, didn't I? Come on. We're going to have some praying parents, too. So, Lord, don't give me any more.
Lord, amen.
Father, we thank you for our parents, and we thank you for, I pray for the teachers tonight. all over the Charlotte-Mecklenburg school system in Detroit, all over this country. But God, especially a special prayer for Allenbrook, a special prayer over this new PTA, this group of PTA members. And I just thank you that it's going to be a great partnership moving forward. Bless this community. Bless these parents. Bless Allenbrook to be in that top 29 so that they can get a new school or get rid of some of this overcrowding. God, I know you're going to do it. You're going to show us something that we know we couldn't do without you. And the school systems, and no system can stop us because you're the creator of all systems. Do your thing, God, and we'll follow. Thank you for blessing us tonight. In Jesus' name, amen. Shake somebody's hand if you love people. Amen.